I already did a video on how to unflood a weed eater or a grass trimmer. It's back on my channel. If you want to see it, I'll put a little link up here in the I button for you too. The reason I'm doing this video is because on that video, I got so many comments of guys saying, does that also work with a chainsaw? Or comments saying, Steve, I want to see you do that with a chainsaw too. So here we go. Good day, guys and girls. Welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon. I got some PBR on the go right now. So, your chainsaw won't start. One of the biggest problems why your chainsaw won't start is because it's flooded. It happens a lot. I run into this on a daily basis, actually. What flooding is, it simply means that there's too much fuel in your engine to start. Your spark plug cannot fire and ignite pure fuel in there. It has to be a mixture of air and fuel for it to actually run. Too much fuel in there, that's what flooding means. One of the most common reasons that your chainsaw is going to be flooded in the first place is from over choking it. You choke it too many times before you put it on the run position to start it. Or in some cases, maybe you're choking it when you don't need to choke it, like if it's warm already. If you put your chainsaw down for 2 minutes, and then you go to start it again and you choke it again after like 2 minutes, you don't need to choke it again. Now you're flooding it if you do that. So here's how we're going to unflood this using no tools. The reason I want to do this video showing you how to do it with no tools, because there's a lot of people that go up in the back 40, they're out in the bush, and they think maybe they flooded their chainsaw, and they go, oh, all my tools are at home. Now what am I going to do? I'm not going home to get tools. So we're going to stick to this no tool thing for today. I am going to flood this thing right now. I am going to take the spark plug out. And yes, I realize I'm using a tool right now. This is to flood it. I'm going to flood it right now, but there's no tools required to unflood it. All right, let's get that spark plug out. And I'm going to pour fuel straight into the top of that engine through the spark plug hole. So this thing is going to be flooded worse than you possibly could flood it on your own by over choking it. I'm probably going to actually hydraulic this thing or hydrolock it. There you see. Now I just filled that cylinder right full of fuel. That is flooded worse than you possibly can do this. Hydrolock or hydraulic, that's what this thing's going to be depending on what you want to call it, depending on where you live in the world. Now let's put that spark plug back in and see if this thing actually is hydrolocked. It probably is. Yep, I cannot pull that rope. I cannot make this thing turn over. Now, I'm going to show you how to unhydrolock this thing. Hey, that's a good word right there. Unhydrolock it. Obviously, if you guys have your tool around and your unit is hydrolocked, take your spark plug out and dump that excess fuel out. I'm going to show you how to do this with no tools though. You can clear that hydrolock by just putting even pressure on that. There. It's actually working already. It's squishing that fuel out past the piston. You don't want to do this if you don't have to, because it is hard on the starter components. You can break your rope for one. You can break the starter pawls by doing this, but that's already worked. There. Now the hydrolock is cleared in there. What we want to do is put the chain brake on. You want to have that chain brake put on so when it does start, there's no chance your chain's going to be moving. Again, if you do have access to a tool, take your barn chain right off. It's safer and it's easier to do it, for one. We're sticking with the no tool thing here. Now what we're going to do is when we get outside, this is how we unflood it. We're going to put it down on the ground in this position like this. I'm going to hold that trigger. What you want to do is don't choke it. Keep your switch on whatever chainsaw you have. The switches are in different spots. Make sure that your switch is turned on, and make sure that it's in the run position, not the choke position. We don't want to be choking it anymore, right? So put it in the run position, and we're going to hold that trigger wide open as if it's running full speed. Now that carburetor is wide open. From both ends of that carburetor are wide open. You're going to get the most air gushing through there to unflood this. Hold that thing wide open. I'm going to put my knee on top of this to help hold it down, and then I'm going to pull it from this side. And that should be the safest way to actually start this thing like I'm about to show you. So let's go unflood this thing. So we got the chain brake on. We got it in the run position, not the choke position, and we're going to hold that trigger wide open, holding it down with my knee. We're going to see what happens. Works like a charm. Whew, how many pulls was that? Chances are that if your chainsaw is flooded though, it's not going to take you that many pulls to get yours going, because most likely your chainsaw is not going to be flooded as bad as I flooded this one. Getting back to that hydrolock, that hydraulic situation there, if you did run into that situation where you had so much fuel in there that it was actually hydrolocked, that's not from over choking. It's almost impossible to hydrolock a chainsaw by over choking it. It's going to be most likely a carburetor issue in that case if you ran into that. Put another little link up here in the I button for you. I got a video called Partial Rebuild on a Carburetor, and that's most likely going to be your problem if you ran into that situation right there. So I hope you like that, guys. I hope I helped some of you guys out there. I know I probably saved some of you some money, because I run into this almost on a daily basis where somebody will bring a chainsaw in and say, this thing won't start, can you tune it up or something? And the only problem is that it was just flooded. So I hope you like that, guys. Give me that thumbs up button, subscribe if you already haven't, and share it with your friends. Till the next time, guys, Steve out.